Am I looking TED Talk perfect today? So we ask this question to our near and dear ones so frequently, whether it is a wide-eyed child who is showing a crayon drawing to his parents, or someone icing a wobbling cake. We ask this universally, is it looking okay? Is it looking perfect? But what if I say that it is your flaws which are your main asset? So we are going to talk about making our life perfect as a wholesome, because it is the flawed and the flawless together which make your life as a whole. Few years ago, Anya, she delivered a highly acclaimed presentation at a Dental National Conference. It was a flawless presentation. Her idea was well appreciated, the script was awesome, the slides were, and her mentors were so proud. It was one of the perfect professional movement, secondary standards and the outside standards. She was so happy. But the next day told a totally different story. She was all alone in her hotel. And there, she was trying to click a selfie just for her memory and sending it back home to her family. Light was so dim. Her shirt was though clean, but it was wrinkled because of the way it was folded. And selfie didn't came out so well. She tried connecting with her husband. The call dropped in between. It was not so perfect Wi-Fi. Then she ordered a sandwich hurriedly, and the whole filling of the sandwich was just coming out. She thought that it is not as perfect a sandwich as she imagined in the morning. And that very moment, Anya looked into the mirror and laughed. Because that very small and unremarkable morning, the life has given her a very profound learning, a lesson that has changed her perspective in her life forever. She thought that yesterday it was a perfect moment which was momentary on the stage. The perfection is something which is celebrated on the stage, but it is our imperfections that make us honest and human. And from there, the turning point in her life happened. And she started re-evaluating everything in her life in a different way. She re-evaluated when she went back home. She saw that the toothbrush that was so good for oral hygiene earlier is being used to clean the small places somewhere else, tight places. The quilt she was using, super soft, was having her torn and weathered grandma sari in it. Then she saw the t-shirt she used to wear years back is used as a mop in her house. So objects that have lost their original perfection are being reutilized with a new purpose in the life. Another turning point that happened in her life was she became a mother. And when she became a mother, her clinic saw less of her, and she was like no publications, no conferences, no lectures. And the whole time was measured, the feedings, the lullabies, taking care of the little one, and those cuddles and the happy moments. For a while she thought, have I lost myself? Am I not perfect? Am I not fitting in this role? But something invaded in her. She realized and rethought it, that the perfection of one stage of life may not be the perfection in other stage of life. And that very feeling helped her imbibe her motherhood and evolve further. And then she was able to cope up with the things that now earlier, which was the perfect presence for her patients as a doctor, now it is her perfect presence for the tiny being which is learning to smile and laugh and walk. When she saw that kid growing up, from a school kid, then to a high schooler, and then to a college kid, she felt that perfection is totally a different story for that kid throughout the whole life of that baby. When the kid was a school kid, he used to come from the school and just was super happy with the star that he got on the hand by the teacher. The teacher's praise was a perfect thing for him. As he entered into the high school, the popularity in the class and the grades were what mattered to him. And as the kid entered into the college years, the personality, the independence, the thought process, and the academic excellence was the perfection meaning for him. So Anya realized that perfection is not a constant thing. It's an ever-changing concept in the life. And that moment made her felt that our life of every one of us, is very much like a percentile graph, where there will be certain things which will be soaring high in perfection, hitting the 100th percentile exactly. But there will be others in which we will be lower in our percentile, but they reflect our efforts, they reflect our growth. And in this intricate spectrum, you know, the moments of struggle and efforts are appreciated, because every moment that we have gone to reach that perfection is to be cherished. If we listen to the success story of anyone or read the autobiography of anyone, then we want to listen to the achievements they have. But at the same time, we want to know what are the dreams that remain quiet, and what are the things that remain missed. So it is not only about what has been done, it is also about what remain undone. And we have to have that balance in the perfection and the imperfection, because decades from now, when we will look back into our life, it should not be a life which has done a lot. It should be a life which is fulfilled, which has achieved what it wanted with a balance of everything. Now, perfection should not be a very difficult thing to achieve. Even a common man, even per se, a kid should be able to achieve that perfection. And for me, what a perfection requires are three things. One is persistence, intelligence, and the hard work. If you are very intelligent, the hard work needed may be less. If you are very hardworking, an average intelligence will do. But persistence is something that can't be replaced, and it's a constant in all success story, whosoever you follow as ideal in your life. For all the God of all times of different field, it is a persistence that had been a factor of importance in their success story. Now, perfection is actually a very double-edged sword. It helps us reaching new height, and we aspire to become something in the field that we want to become. But in the way, there are so many moments of frustrations. Have you ever seen an architect who had, torn so many papers before coming out with a masterpiece? So we have to understand that it is not only chasing the dreams, it is the whole journey per se which need to be cherished, and every moment of that need to be acknowledged. Now, when we know that it is not the perfection which is needed in every aspect of our life, it is not needed in all moments of our life. So we feel relaxed and we free ourselves from the unrealistic standards. It is not necessary that all the pic that you take has to be Instagram perfect. It's not necessary that the home you live in has to be clean and perfectly placed things all the time. So when we acknowledge this, we ease ourselves and we are able to grow better in our life. In this world, which is obsessed with flawless achievements, now there is a Japanese philosophy which you call as wabi-sabi, and it says that joy and beauty, they are in simplicity and authenticity. And similarly, there is a philosophy of kintsugi in which a broken vase, the cracks are filled with gold, which teaches us that your flaws can be your strength, the broken areas can be mended, and a damaged thing is not to be hidden, it is to be honored. So, similarly, in our Indian philosophy, we look at it in a very different way. We look at it in the way of transformation and renewal. It's not the appearance of the thing that we say as perfect. It is the utility of the thing that makes it perfect. And I have given it a name that is ReVibe and Loopify. ReVibe emphasizes on, keeping something in the usefulness again and again with a fresh purpose. You bring something in life, with a fresh purpose, you bring something in life. And Loopify is utilizing continuous loop of utilization of that thing. Do you remember that grandma sari in that quilt? Do you remember that t-shirt as a mop? Do you remember that toothbrush which is now cleaning the corners of the house? So by accepting this philosophy, we achieve simplicity and we achieve a freedom from the complexity of the societal pressures that we all feel day in and day out. And with this mindset, we are more calmer, we are authentic, we are grounded, we are focused, and we are at ease. So I think knowing that perfections are there, and there should be at least one field in the life of everyone where you are at the perfect level, but imperfections are very common. And with this mindset, when we go ahead, now we are crystal clear that my life is work in progress. My life is going to be a masterpiece. And these are the flaws that don't define us, they refine us. And we should always respect the cracks because that is where the light enters. So tonight, just think of a flaw. What you ever thought was your weakness is the reason what makes you strong today. So friends, revibe and loopify in the life. Thank you.